Madam Chair, we are live.
Thank you, Mrs. DeGraff. We'll go ahead and call our regular board meeting to order. Mrs. Rigby will lead us all in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mrs. Rigby. The floor would be open for a motion to amend the agenda, specifically to add item 4.5. And we're also going to move 5.2, the superintendent report, to directly follow the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Thank you. Mrs. DeGraw, did we have any public comment sheets?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Mr. Hanson, it's good to see you.
Same to you.
If you want to stand at the podium, you're welcome. I think we can hear you there, but your time is limited to 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring this puppy down. So.
Perfect.
Just all I know when the time's up, I'll just say.
And just a reminder before you start, there's no discussion of personnel matters or personal attacks. And if you have any documents you'd like to leave with Mrs. DeGraw, please do so.
I'm getting coffee for each of you. School board members, district administrator, and district clerk. I have a packet of information, which we just said, I'll leave it at that. If there's anything you find not accurate, please let me know so that I can correct it. I am proposing that we change the way we are presently using the supplemental levy. In 2012, our district employees received a 3% pay cut. Meetings were held with community members to discuss how we could keep this from happening again. A supplemental levy was proposed. The superintendent at the time, John Murdoch, was open to a levy but had some reservations. He said that a levy would indeed help, but we needed to keep from depending on it many years into the future. That was 14 years ago. His concerns have become a reality. We continue to budget the supplemental funds and treat them the same as state funds. In my opinion, the supplemental levy allows school districts to ask local taxpayers for help during lean years until it can get back on its feet. Over the past 12 years, the state of Idaho has substantially increased its funding to schools. Those extra funds has made it possible for our district to remove the levy, but we have chosen to increase it instead. If you look at the numbers that I have included in your packet, the past 3 years would have been an ideal time to unburden taxpayers. I'm all about paying people well, but what we have done over the past 3 years does not represent fiscal responsibility, in my opinion. As you will see in the numbers, we have a bus driver whose compensation has increased 132%. We have a teacher whose salary has increased 38%. We have a custodian whose wages have increased 22%. The technology supervisor's compensation has increased by 29%. Of the 40 employees, and you'll see why that's the case in my packet, the average compensation has increased 20% over the past 3 years. We are presently boxed in a corner. We need to plan for hard times. We need to stop taking out an operational loan every 2 years just to fund our spending habits. I believe that the levy is up for renewal this year. My recommendation is that we either not renew it or we propose a lower amount to end it in 2 years. We often hear that we need to pay our teachers more to get and retain good ones. From what I understand, last year 9 teachers left our district. I know that some of them took pay cuts to do so. The notion of spending more to solve problems has not worked well for the federal government. My request is that we spend the district's money as if it was our own. The school board and administration make decisions that affect the district employees and the local taxpayers. Both groups should be considered when making decisions for the future of our district and community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hanson. All right, the floor would be open for a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended.
Madam Chair, so move.
Is there a second? Second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. As amended, we're going to move to superintendent report.
Sorry, Madam Chair, I did not have that ready.
Thank you.
Sorry, I just need to reshare my screen. We should be back. There we go. Apologize for that slight delay. Reporting on our goals as a district, quality teaching and learning. Just wanted to have an update that the senior projects were completed. I know some of the board members, you guys were able to make it to the senior board senior projects. Any comments that you guys had on senior projects? I just wanted to.
There was a vast array. There was a lot of different things. It was a really neat night.
Yeah.
And of course, Mrs. Scott made it amazing. It was,
I think it's a good thing for the kids, a good
Thank you.
exercise. I would prefer a schedule that wasn't on a Monday night, and since it's something that it can be scheduled in advance, and maybe it was, and I just, as a parent and senior, didn't get the message, but
Yeah,
I would appreciate that in the future, but I think
if you
in
could
my
find,
house, it's been a good experience.
I love the process, the challenge of scheduling during, just to speak on that. You can find any real estate in April that has on the calendar, tell me where it's at, because
Well, I think if it's scheduled first and realized that it needs to be not shifted, that's what I understood from it then.
yeah, we could always look into that, but that is definitely something of a consideration. The juniors have already presented their proposals for next year. We had our scholarship night on that Tuesday, Monday. And there was a grand total of over $1.2 million offered to the seniors. Out of the 57 students that are in the senior class, 44 of them applied. And so we still had some that weren't applying yet, but there were a lot of scholarships. Mr. Guimar did a great job with that. Our ISAT testing has been complete. Mr. Packer was the VFW Teacher of the Year. He not only won the local, but the state level, and
He won some sort of.
and some type of award at the national level with that. So that was really good for him. And then I did invite some of our teachers and staff members to come in, and students, to talk about the math badging. Just wanted to have an update with math badging. This is something that last year Mrs. Bell came in. This is a process where Mrs. Bell and some of the other teachers, West Jefferson is on the cutting edge of some of the math offerings that we have here at West Jefferson. And math badging is an alternate type of instructional strategies that they do. And so I have Mrs. Dixon who teams with Mrs. Bell. We have Mrs. Talmadge and Rosie Eubanks. Okay, that came in. So Mrs. Dixon, go ahead and take over
Okay.
and you can explain.
So a couple weeks ago, we had an opportunity to go back to Boise with our math teachers, so Mrs. Bell, Mrs. Torgeson, and Mrs. Burnshaw. And then we took 4 students with us to go to what was called the Math Badging Summit. And basically, Math Badging is a network of teachers dedicated to changing students' mindsets around mathematics, to help them believe in themselves and to see math as valuable to their futures. Technically speaking, badging allows us to chunk math into big math ideas and focus on those ideas with kids to help them see their own understanding of the ideas and to see how that idea is relevant to the world we live in. Earning a math badge is important to kids and shows an accomplishment worth being proud of. Ideally, these math badges can be stacked into micro credentials, and hopefully in the future, they'll be able to help them with colleges and industries. So it was really cool to take 4 students to the Math Badging Summit. Basically, the students were kind of the leaders of how it ran. So we took our 4 students and they were able to teach the teachers that came how the math badging is working. So right now, West Jefferson we're doing amazing with our math. We have schools that are coming in to see how we're modeling it. And that has been a huge thing. We have ladies from ISU that we work with, that Mrs. Bell works with. Mrs. Bell has ran the math badging for 4 years. And then we kicked it off into our SPED program the last 3 years, and it's just getting better and better and better. So we actually were able to be the models for the people in Boise that came to the math badging. And Rosie and Megan is one of my paras that's in the class. So I asked her just to explain what she sees on a day-to-day of being in the class with that.
But it's great because I get to watch the kids kind of develop and learn the steps. So it's good to watch them understand the concept, get a feel for this concept, and then watch them have confidence in it, which is really good. And I hear, because I also work with kids that come into Joe's class, that kids that have Mrs. Bell's, how much better they understand math. They used to hate math, and some of these kids are now like, it's not that hard. I really like math. And so I think it's great to see the change of their idea of math, because math can be hard for a lot of kids. They get that mental block in their head.
And then I asked Rosie just to share some thoughts. Rosie actually got to be on a panel in front of the.
We can see Rosie on this picture right here. Is that you right there, Rosie, next to Mrs. Bell? Okay.
She was on the panel at this, and she went up and talked in front of all of the teachers and other students. And it was really cool to see Rosie be comfortable and to share what they're doing in math. She has Mrs. Burnshaw as her teacher, and Mrs. Burnshaw, huge shout out to her. She's a phenomenal math teacher that's just giving these kids confidence. And so I asked Rosie just to share some things from that.
Yeah, at first it's kind of scary going up there, and then like just having Miss Burnshaw there, she was always like, "It's not gonna be bad. Like, it's a good experience," and just going there and learning and seeing other people, it was amazing. It was fun.
Can you explain what you presented to the teachers there? What project?
So we've been working on the zoo project, and so we were in class, and it took about a week to like learn. And like we would just go over like everything that we've learned for the past like year, and we would just put it in a little zoo project, and we would have to build some things, and we got to take it to Boise to show all the different teachers there, and we got to explain to them what we did and how we learned it, and like how we were able to put it all together.
So what type of math stuff would you be doing in that? Like, so like how to build projects at the zoo or build pens or what
Yeah,
were you?
it's like a lot of angles, like
Mhm.
like what like angles is, and like how like you would add them all together, and
They did a lot of the cages,
Yeah,
and then
they
like
did.
they had to put wires around the cages. How much wire would it cost to need to do all that? So they did the volume and area perimeters, stuff like that. I love geometry.
You know, some other things that like with the math badging, I've said this when I'm at my superintendent meetings, because of all the work of Mrs. Bella, our other teachers, Mrs. Torgerson, Mrs. Burtonshaw, and then our students being invited to go to Boise to present to other schools. So those are schools that are just starting to get onto this process. What a cool experience for them to represent West Jefferson. And also some other fun things you guys got to do. You went and had some tours of like Boise State and things, right? Like, you want to talk to us a little bit of some of those things, like,
oh yeah, we gotta go to the engineering place, and it was amazing to go and look around and be able to like look and see how much math is fun. Like with the engineering, they use a lot of math in it, but it all looked fun because like there was a lot of different ways that you could build and stuff like that.
cool.
Students loved it. Like I
Yeah.
heard all about their experiences. They loved it.
Well, thank you for representing West Jefferson in such a great way, Rosie. Appreciate that, Mrs. Dixon. The board, do you guys have any questions or comments? No? All right, thank you for your time, you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Yeah, the kids definitely had a lot of fun. They were there. Teacher did hard, good works. So moving on, I just wanted to have an update on the current elementary assignments. I think there's still some confusion out there that when we started our POM meetings a month ago or 2 months ago, one of the conversations we had was that Hamer might be an all-day first grade class. Somehow that's still out there, that is still going to happen. And that ship sailed about, 15 discussions ago. And so I just wanted to put out there that this is our current assignments as of today. And the reason why I say that, because we still haven't had contracts signed. Contracts will be sent out in May. There's still a chance if teachers have other options, they could choose different things for their careers and go other places. But as of right now, we have Brittany Goodyear as our all-day kindergarten in Hamer, Shay Williams, and Hannah Smaley. And Hannah was a student teacher with Miss Allen in the 3rd and 4th down here in Territon. Then Jill Coleman with the half-day kindergarten. That's going to be 2 sessions, an AM session and a PM session. Peyton Shaw and Emma Caldwell. Emma was a student teacher with Mrs. Williams in 1st grade. So we have two great teachers that we picked up. Megan Morton is in 2nd grade. That is the 2nd grade class as a district, as a smaller group of numbers. Dottie Pincock, Lillian Mason will be in 3rd, and Sherry Murdoch and Emily Allen in 4th grade. Fiscal responsibility, we are working on our budget preparations. And then we've been looking at options with our online school, which I have more to visit about with in the action items. Community relations and communications. There's music concert is coming up next Wednesday on the 20th. That is at 7 o'clock. That's going to be with Mrs. Parker, 7 p.m. Our drama is high school drama is doing Singing in the Rain. Anybody else
Get
have?
your tickets now.
Get your tickets now. Does anybody? I better. Well, I've already paid that Venmo. I better look on it.
I'll double check.
Shake sent me. If not, I get to pay my Venmo because she's requested those.
Okay.
I think I'm going every night. I don't know. It seems like with the price, I probably should be going for like 3 weeks. Or maybe we just bought tickets for the whole family.
Monday nights.
Monday night, so
Okay.
come Monday.
Singing in the Rain, they did have their dress rehearsals yesterday, and Mrs. Erickson said that it went really well. So Hamer and Territon Elementaries both had their spring concerts. Both were well attended. The 4th grade is preparing for Lewis and Clark play, and graduation we're planning for outside, but as I'm looking outside the window right now, I think the only place you'd want to be is hunkered down out of the wind. So that is going to be pending. The senior class is requested to have an outdoor graduation. We are working through that process to see if it will work. If weather does look like it's going to be anywhere close to this, it will be changed to indoors.
What time that determination?
Probably the Monday or Tuesday. I don't know exactly.
Currently showing
What's the wind forecast?
it's not accurate that far out. I think it says.
So it is not like so nice.
And it's something that us going to indoors, it could be down to a day before, because it's not like anybody's gonna get lost. You know, they're
Yeah.
parking in the same parking lot. You show up and they're not outside.
You'll know.
Come on, people, just go inside the building. So we'll do that. That's my superintendent report for today.
Great, well, thank you, Mr. Williams. All right, our first action item is,
4.2,
do we have?
nothing on
No,
that one, yeah.
All right, out of state travel.
The FCCLA club is planning something big, and they are looking for permission to plan and go ahead to send their leadership kids, so 5 leadership students will go to a leadership conference in Anaheim this November. It'll be November 12th through the 15th. It's an overnight activity, but also out of state. So the leadership classes in Mrs. W. Williams's classroom will go there. The leadership advisor will go as well. And so I don't have much more information about that, but she wanted to have this permission in advance, then be able to make the preparation. They have raised the money for things like this. The FCCLA oversees the concessions. And they also have had other donations and things that have come up to allow them to do this. So the FCCLA funds will take care of this, or the CTE
There will be a portion of the CTE that pays for
pays for
the advisor.
advisor.
But they are also talking about a fundraiser probably in August. And they're
Just to help
some
with this.
ideas.
Are these students, is it a leadership class that FCCLA has that Mrs. Williams has, or is it her chapter leaders?
That I don't know.
It's her presidency of the.
Probably just the chapter
of the
leaders.
club, yeah.
I'm not sure if she has them in a leadership class or not. They've discussed that before in the past, but I can't recall right now.
Good for them. Is there any questions or discussion on that? If not, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the out-of-state travel request.
Madam Chair, I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Thank
Okay, you
you.
guys missed your chance to put a school board member on there with them,
Right?
like.
Where is that? Right, next up, we have a few student matters from executive session that we need to vote on.
Just a reminder for those that, with student items from executive session, if it's not a disciplinary issue that's being discussed, it must be voted on in an open meeting, but however, due to, confidentiality of the discussions during executive session, we have, each of these identified as student A and student B with their situations. So there may be limited, discussion from the board, but the board will go forward now with these two options.
Board remember, student A is the one we visited with personally. My recommendation would be to approve that, but I'm not gonna make the motion, so I'll just leave the floor open.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve the proposal for student A.
Is there a second?
Second that.
Those in favor? Any opposed? That motion passes. Thank you. Student B. Again, I'll leave the floor open to you guys to go with option A or B. I'm jump in with my recommendation again.
I'll make a motion. I go with A.
To approve.
I'm trying to.
A was the first one proposed.
Madam Chair, I make a motion for option A for student B.
Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion
Sorry.
passes.
She never remembers. Conversation. It was like 30 minutes ago, so it's too long.
So we do have an RFQ for the next one, Madam Chair. A request for qualifications. So last year, we had our financial audit conducted by Rudd and Company, and we've had them for several years. We were informed of a new fee proposal from them. Which we did go out and decided to send out a request for qualifications from other financial audit companies. We sent that audit out to 3 different companies and received 2 back. We are going to present that as West Jefferson to select Quest CPAs. The price was $12,000 for the first year with an increase of $600 for the next 2 years. This one, we did some background checks with that. A majority of school districts utilize Quest throughout
familiar.
the state. They're very familiar with it. Smaller school districts. And so as we've talked with those business managers, we're not only just choosing the one that is the most fiscally advantageous for the district, but also one we feel like other districts have utilized well.
And it was, how much was
The
they were gonna increase?
so
Rudd and Company, how much?
it almost doubled the request. The RFQ that we received was for 28,500.
You see a lot of districts in the area use Quest.
And throughout the state.
Where are they based out of?
I'm not sure exactly where they're at, Carrie, do you remember?
They have some all across the state. They have like CPAs across the state. Dan is based in Meridian, Idaho.
Meridian. I'm familiar with them also through the Idaho School District Council. They conduct the audits for that committee that I'm on with the superintendents. Clark County has been with them for a while as well. So that's what our recommendation is.
Can you explain to me that 3rd paragraph? Because on the second one, you said the price was 12,000, and then you say the cost of
Oh.
a single audit would be.
That's a very good question. So a single audit is if there's $1 million more in federal funds. right now, the federal funds that we have are Title I and special education. And the only time in the West Jefferson history that we ever received more than $1 million in federal funds was during COVID. Because any of that COVID money that came in was also added on top of that. And so if a district receives that much in federal funds, then a separate audit has to take place, and they charge an extra $2,500 if that were the case. But the last couple of years, after all of the COVID money has went away, we
It
yeah,
used
reached
to
that.
be at 750,000.
And that's why we hit it at
And
that
that's
time.
why we hit it at that time. But our title funds are about 150,000. Our special ed is about 120,000.
I'd say
Um,
roughly 500,000 to 600,000 would be what we get between all of our Title Is and our special ed.
and also our child nutrition. So the chances of us meeting that,
We put that in there just in
Okay.
case that if they did look at our finances and said, oh, you guys qualify for a single audit, then the cost would be $2,500 more than what we have for this proposal.
Discussion. Any other questions?
I just want you to know, I know Shane's talked about some of the districts. I have talked to many business managers. Especially the business managers who were not with Rudd and who have been with Quest, specifically this gentleman that gave us his qualifications. And they've all been very pleased as business managers with the process that he goes.
So he'll still come out to the school?
I think, I don't think he comes out, I think we send him stuff.
And he'll probably zoom in for the presentation.
Okay.
Does he have a team that works with him?
Yeah,
Okay,
Probably.
Yeah.
he's just the head guy.
yeah, so like, the other one we got was with the lady who came and presented to you guys last year. But she has a team underneath her.
The other proposal that you received, was it not even in the ballpark?
The second one
Yeah.
was 28,000. The third, we never did receive a third. We
Oh,
sent
we
it up.
didn't, okay.
Right, we never got one.
And Law says we just need to reach out.
Right, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the review committee's recommendation to accept Quest CPA's PLLC for the annual financial audit.
Madam Chair, so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, quick, Carrie.
Sorry.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes, thank you. Okay, next. Authorization for online school.
So the purpose of this proposal is of creating a district online school is to better serve the diverse educational needs of students and families within our district boundaries, while also strengthening student retention, enrollment stability, and long-term district sustainability, especially like with financial things when it comes to enrollment and attendance, really helps us out. This was a topic that we have discussed since 2020. So I know, Emily, you're new on this one. You're probably thinking this is the first time we've ever talked about online school and organizations. But we've talked about it since 2020, and it's something that I've even been mulling around since that time. And of course, as a possible, way to like, how do we help with all the different needs of kids? At that time, it was COVID. Now it's kind of evolved into more of how do we meet a lot of the diverse requests and needs from parents. At that time, we decided not to create a separate school code because we were able to use IDLA and a program called Edgenuity, which helped us reach out to some of these students individually and say, okay, what specific needs do you have and how do you want to do this? Excuse me. The difficulty with that is we didn't have a platform to offer, and we also didn't have a specific teacher that was just designated to own this. With recent legislation, there are new guidelines on how fully online students are counted and enrolled in the district. And so if we want to have any students counted as a fully online school, we have to have a school that's created. Now, that doesn't mean we're building a building. What that looks like, and I kind of put this in that next paragraph, the creation of an online school first just requires the board to say, yes, this is something that as a school board, we approve looking into and going forward. Then I submit an application to the Idaho Department of Education. And it's just a form that says, we want to have a school, WJOL, West Jefferson Online. They approve it at the state level by saying, okay, the school board passed it off on it. And then they give us a tracking number for the school. West Jefferson High School has a tracking number. West Jefferson Junior High has a tracking number, and so on. Terraton Elementary, Hamer Elementary. All of those numbers are then put into the IC data system. And so students that when they enroll into Terraton Elementary, they're connected under that number of the students at Terraton Elementary. So this just gives us a place to house those students in the system where an online student would then be housed under whatever number we have, boom. That's the creation that I'm asking for right now. Part of the, I guess, when I first was looking at it in 2020, we didn't want to like fully jump into like saying, take the risk of like, hey, let's pay a teacher to like run this without knowing that we have a potential number of students that we could gain. Right now, because of after our PA meetings, and I kind of have this down here from our feedback from our PA meetings, conversations with certain parents in the area that are choosing online options, we feel like if we offered this, we would be able to get between 15 and 20 students to come into it this year, which would fully fund itself and more. It's not going to be a cash cow. I don't want it to be something that we're just out there trying to make money, but this would be the best time to jump into it. If we choose not to go forward with this, we have zero option for fully online. And so those students would just continue to live in West Jefferson School District, be enrolled. There's several different local districts that have an online option. And so they would live at home, they would sign up through that company, and that funding would funnel right over into the next county. One of the things when I look at like how does that help? When we look at the bullet points by retaining local students, expanding educational opportunities, another choice, while also for these families to maintain a connection to the district. Because we have had families that are signed up for these that sometimes show up and say, I want to bring my kid to the elementary field day. Right now, we've just been letting them come. But when you're looking at that going, okay, so you're sending all your money over to the other school district, but now you want to show up and be part of the dance day at the junior high or the rocket stuff. If they were signed up in our own online school, that's an open door. You're a district student. Come to anything you want to here. Right now, we still could, if a student is signed up and they're on an online school from a different district, they might want to come and be in band or orchestra. They might want to be in band or orchestra or drama. We allow them to come do that, but we don't recoup any application to the other district saying this student of yours attended our classes for 1 hour a day. We should get 0.2 attendance or 0.15 attendance for them every single day. Then they have to submit that to the State Department through the IC program, and eventually maybe the money comes back into it. So there's a way for us to recoup when kids come to like drama or this or that. But sometimes because of our small staff, it's almost more work to ask Mr. Guimar, say, hey, can you track this and send this all in and do all of that? They're willing to do it. But by us having our own online school, they want to come to drama, boom, you come to drama. You want to come to choir or orchestra, you're there. So those are the reasons why I want to do it. I don't have every single specific detail of how it's going to look, because the first step is we have to get this approved to be able to have the state give us a number. Now, if we do this and the state gives us a number and we have 0 kids that go into it, there's 0 financial problem with this. It's just a school in this IC data system that has 0 kids in it. It doesn't impact us one bit. But if we don't have that, we can't start. And so that's what I'm looking at today. Mrs. DeGraw and I have been reaching out to several different platforms of people that we can help run these programs. They need to get back to us with more details. I've had conversations with individuals who I believe could help us in this going forward. But again, all of those are things that aren't finalized yet. And it's one of those things that as a small school, I think this would be our best opportunity to do it. And because we don't have another online option because of the recent changes. Any other thoughts from our things?
I'm gonna ask you to talk about the budgeting process, what we looked at yesterday.
Could you go ahead and do that?
Yeah. So as part of our budgeting process, we do put student numbers into a spreadsheet that then gives us support units, which we've talked a lot about as our support units. It increased our support units by about 0.7. And then we looked at our operational increase and it was about $35,000. Any of the platforms won't cost even close to that amount. And so we're thinking we need a 0.5 teacher to help us get it started and running and kind of oversee it. So it really would pay for itself if we could get approximately 15 students enrolled in this.
So let's say you have high school age students that want to enroll in this. Can they then be a part of taking courses through IDLA?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. How does that work right now with students who are homeschooled? Do they have that access to IDLA courses?
Are you talking West J students
Or
or in just
Just in general?
just in general? So if you are a homeschool student and you are not connected to a district, the term is LEA, Local Educational Agency. That's that acronym that they use for the state. So if I'm the parent, I'm at home and I want to homeschool my kids and I'm thinking, you know, I want to use IDLA as my homeschool. I then have to pay the higher amount to take an IDLA class. But then they use the $5,000 tax rebate to basically pay for that education.
So they have to take
If they choose to do that.
instead of it coming out of.
Yep.
Are these programs cost per student or is it a lump sum?
Yeah. It depends. It's going to depend on which platform we have.
And how do special education services look for a student who chooses our theoretical online option?
So that would be something where their IEP would still be valid as part of a West Jefferson student. And so they could set up an individual opportunity to come to the school for therapies.
So those
I don't think that
those services aren't part of the curriculum we would purchase? Or
No.
we don't call it a curriculum, what do you call it? The
platform.
thank you.
Yeah. No, so any other student, if they have online, like, if a student was on an online program and it was purely online, they'd still have an IEP through that school. And I don't know what those services would look like. I'm not as familiar with what they would. I would also look at that and say, is that want to have the conversation, because when we're talking IEP, you're talking about each individual student based on what's best for them. And the parent with this maybe has to have the question is, can my child receive the same type of intervention support through an online service that as if they can face to face? It depends on the student, I think, but I think that's just a determination that they would have to come up together with.
My other question was about the calendar. Would they follow the same calendar as the brick and mortar?
They would.
And you, because right now with IDLA, that can't happen, so that would be a change that.
IDLA would have to be different. I'm thinking of the K-8 would follow the same. Anything with secondary would have to have
So
some
is
type of,
that there isn't a we aren't looking at a platform for secondary then, just for elementary?
the secondary platform would be IDLA for right now. Now, if something were presented to us, if you knew of one that you're like, hey, this would be one, if a parent wanted to come and say, hey, could we use this program and system? That's something that we would allow them to look at. So I don't know of a reason why they couldn't do that. It's also a balance because I don't know. When you're trying to find out what is it that everybody wants, I don't know if I found the answer to that. Maybe like this is something that we create and the parents that are doing this are like, I still don't want to do it. It could happen, but I don't know until we try. And I can't sit here and pretend like I know all the answers and know exactly how this is going to turn out, because I don't.
But you've got to have that number to be able to begin to explore.
But right now we have a pretty good, in place, where before it's not. My goal is not to try to go out and attract students from all over Idaho to come to this. I really want it to be something that is more of a draw for those that live here, those that can bring kids here, that can take advantage of the stuff at the brick and mortar, possibly even look at like field trip type things, those type of social activities. Like again, like I said, we don't have the details in place, but this teacher might even be able to say, I'm going to be at X Elementary, maybe Territon or Hamer on this day for this activity. If we have a room for them, they go into that room and they do their activity with it. So many different options to explore. Like I said, I don't know all the answers right now.
Like this is just a step in the right direction.
And for us to be serious about it, because we could wait, but if we don't have a new school in place before the new fiscal year comes in, yeah, then we've missed that window, and then we're another full year out. But if not, it doesn't mean that we can't build it as we go and customize it based on what the parents are wanting.
Any other questions or discussion? If not, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the proposal of establishing a West Jefferson online school.
Madam Chair, so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Okay, we have a couple of things for information and discussion. Policy review. 2605.
So this is one that we've brought before the board before for just to have eyes on and good feedback for. We've also sent this out to the junior high teachers. We sat down and went over a few different things, and the highlighted areas are things that we've added since last time, from both recommendations from the district and also from just feedback from the teachers. This is just as a reminder, this policy is a way basically for us to have more teeth in an accountability for the junior high students. And so we want them to be able to pass their core subjects with a 60% or higher to be able to go forward with that. And so trying to think. So here's it says a student who receives a failing grade of 59% in a course shall not be retained solely due to the course failure. The student may advance to the next grade, but must complete the failed course the district can require. So basically it's saying, if I'm an eighth grader and I don't want to do anything in math and I'm just choosing to not do anything, you can still become a ninth grader, but you will be enrolled in eighth grade math again.
I'm reading it wrong. I see it says if you fail to earn credit in 3 or more.
So, oh, are you looking down at the bottom? I was looking at the top part.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I should have been more clear because that,
Okay.
so if I fail a class, I can still become a ninth grader, but I have to come back and retake that class. That's if it's just one class. So you can retake the failed course at the next opportunity. You do that while you're enrolled in the current grade, or you can take a district approved method such as IDLA or anything like that to move on. But if,
Sorry,
okay,
there was it Edgeworthy or something that?
Edgenuity,
Edgenuity, thank you.
that would be,
Go in
we
there
just didn't
too?
put it, yeah, we just didn't even put it on there. But we just, because that's still a district approved method. And the such as is just given the example. But a student failing to earn credit in 3 or more of the required classes, that was a new one that they said, okay, so what if Mr. Williams is a junior high kid and I check out of all these and I'm missing 3 out of the 4. That's where they're saying we'll be required to repeat the same grade level. That's where we're gonna say, you know what, if you're not doing that, you probably should stay back, because that's gonna be tough to go into high school, but come back and still do 3 of those classes.
Or you're lacking that.
There's
foundation.
still the safety net of recovering the credit that's still there, but at least it hopefully gives a little bit more teeth and accountability to the kids. So that's where we're at with this one. This process right now where we're at is considered a first reading again. It will require a second reading before approving. Is there anything you guys would want to add or feedback to it?
You say you had a committee of teachers already look this over?
Yeah, this,
For junior high teachers.
Does this happen very often?
no. No, so when I talked with Mr. Hall, who is the most experienced teacher, and he's the one that's really helped with this, he said that this did have we did have a policy similar to this several years ago. And that they did have a couple of kids that they did hold back to come and take those classes. And he said magically it was good for those kids because it woke them up and they were good students in high school. But he also said magically the kids in the grades below didn't fail after that. They realized that they should do that. And so he has said that it's been helpful, but I think this has a good balance between having expectation and rigor, but also some safety nets with IDLA if they really needed to.
Okay, super. Look forward to reading that next month then.
Yeah.
All right. We do have a special meeting scheduled for May 26th, the Tuesday at 3 p.m. And then, let's see.
Oh. I did have we are about to lose power down here, just so you know. I just gotta,
Yeah, we'll be back. Yeah.
Hey, just so FYI on our meeting, just in case we are about to lose power. I just gotta,
Okay,
just so you know.
perfect. So YouTube will be going down.
Yeah.
You might be a little late, but we'll be here. Okay, perfect.
Our next regular meeting is June 10th. That's at 9 a.m., isn't it? For our June meeting? Or am I making that up?
Yes, 9 a.m.
9 a.m. Okay. The floor will be open for a motion to adjourn.
Chair, someone.
Is there a second?
So.
Those in favor?
All right.
Any opposed?
Okay,
Adjourned, thank you.
okay.